Hi, my name is Winetta Williams, and I'd like to talk to you about concussions in football. In high school, I loved going to the Friday night football games. There was one season that was particularly special to me because our team would go undefeated for the entire season. Now, unfortunately, the team did not make it past the first game of the playoffs because the star player was sacked and knocked out cold. He had suffered a concussion. Concussions, a type of brain trauma, can happen in many activities from falling to being injured in a collision to playing contact sports. There is one American major league sport, however, where the players are more likely to sustain a concussion than all other major league sports combined, and that's football. Concussions have a major impact on the NFL, its team, and the players. According to WebMD.com, a concussion is a type of traumatic brain injury that occurs when the brain is jarred or shaken inside the skull. Symptoms of a concussion may not be readily identified because often there is no apparent visible injury. You may not see a laceration, scar, or bruise, and it is important to note that a concussion is not a bruise to the brain, but rather it is a disruption to how the brain works. There are short-term effects of a concussion that may not be obvious for a few days after a concussion is sustained. The CDC, or Centers for Disease Control, categorizes short-term symptoms into four categories: thinking, remembering, emotional, mood, physical, and sleep. Most people with a concussion recover quickly and fully. But again, according to the CDC, those who have had a concussion in the past are also at risk for having another one and may find that it takes longer to recover if they have another concussion. Repeated concussions could cause long-term consequences, including amnesia and dementia. Behavioral changes such as schizophrenia tendencies is also identified as a long-term consequence or effect of repeated concussions. This may be why concussions are of particular interest to the NFL. In their profession, NFL football players engage in activity that frequently puts them at risk. While I can't identify the exact source, I recall watching an interview where an NFL pro player said that playing football and colliding full speed with another grown man is like being in a car collision over and over again. It's this risk and repeated trauma that have caused some former and current NFL players to suffer mental and physical health conditions, some with deadly consequences. One such player is Junior Seau. After 20 years in the league, Junior Seau committed suicide. It was reported that his moods were extreme. He tested positive for CTE, or chronic traumatic encephalopathy. Earlier, a concussion was defined in part as a type of traumatic brain injury. CTE is believed to stem directly from repeated brain trauma. There is no documented number on how many concussions Junior Seau suffered exactly, but the Sports Concussion Institute says that a professional football player will receive an estimated 900 to 1,500 blows to the head during a season. While Junior Seau's case may be an extreme example, given the number of concussions that continue to occur on game day, the NFL continues to review and revamp rules intended to focus on safety. According to NFL.com, it's working. The number of concussions are down by 13% from the 2012 season. It has changed rules on how players contact another player and how referees officiate the game. Concussions are serious and have both short-term and long-term effects. Football players are at repeated risk for sustaining concussions or head trauma, and the resulting disease from repeated head trauma can have final, fatal consequences.